Hello, good humans. Welcome to the wonderful world of Jenny's Enjoys podcast, where we're all about unlocking life's incredible magic. I'm your spirited host, Nyambuga Gore, and I'm delighted to be with you here. First and foremost, as the tradition, I will begin by giving my innermost gratitude to you guys for your continuous support, showing me that you listen to my podcast, that you are interested in self elevation and becoming the best version of yourself. I love it for you, honestly. I love it for you. And I hope that this journey reveals to you your true purpose and who you truly are, so that we stop the self-sabotaging habits that bring us down. And I say thank you so much, guys, for sharing, for tuning in every week, for bringing in more people, because so many people have been listening to our channels. Thank for my for to our channel, and thank you so much for engaging me and for asking me some about how I did it and how I'm continually doing it and keeping the discipline. I appreciate you so much, and I want you to know that this journey is a journey that will give you the fulfillment that you've always desired, and it will leave you with so much happiness and so much room for improvement, and so much room to explore who you are and to be able to make better decisions that favor you. If I'd say so, decisions that bring you to a place that you feel like you can you are happy, you know. Yes. So on today's episode, I just want to be, I usually talk about vulnerability most of the time here. I told you before, I told you before that vulnerability is one of the steps that you need to take so that you can be able to begin this self-awareness journey. And vulnerability means that you accept yourself fully. You accept yourself with all your flaws and with all your details, and you know that this is who you are, and then you start working on that point. So I want to tell you on this episode that I'm going to get a little deep on my own journey, how my journey was back then, and how it has impacted who I am today. Because we all know whatever work you put in today is the results you're going to see them tomorrow. No, that is why I usually tell you to trust the process and be consistent about things. And a very good example that it is showing on the outside, as I said, my journey that is showing on the outside is my journey with my skin. And I've been consistent, and I've been working on my skin. And you, if you know me, I'll show you my before pictures and my after pictures. I'll just post them on my Instagram and Facebook account so that you can see how the process has been and how far I am on this journey of skincare routine and how it has appreciated me. So just like that journey, any other journey is the same. Any other journey needs effort, any other journey needs consistency, and this self-awareness journey is not, it doesn't need anything less. In fact, it needs even more, because you have to motivate yourself every day, and to push yourself. So, like I was saying, this episode I'm going to dig a little deeper on my journey, on how it was. But I first want to tell you this: if you want to see growth, and you want to see that you are moving, you're not stagnating on anything, and you're moving in the right direction, you have to get to a point that you are, that if you want to really ignite that light to be able to change who you are and see growth, you have to stop making excuses. You have just to quit, and you have to be so tired, with the person you are. You be so tired with the person you wake up every day and see. You have to be super super tired. You see, like when people are living relationships, or when people are living situations that have taken so much energy out of them, that is how exactly you're supposed to feel. That if Because if you don't feel that despair, if you're not desperate to become better, then you're not going to ignite that growth, that that momentum to grow, you know. So you have to be desperate about it. You have to be desperate of becoming the best version, and you have to say, this is not who I want to be. So I want to show you a place of my in my life when in a certain time in my life, when I was a little young, I was a little bit younger, and I was trying to better myself. I was trying to come out of my comfort zone, because I was trying to explore my options. I was trying to explore my possibilities, to see how this thing of not giving up on yourself can work out. And you know, can I tell you something? It worked out perfectly for me. So I usually tell you guys about journaling, and I usually insist on journaling all the time, all the time, all the time. So I'll just give you an example of how powerful journaling and motivating yourself can be, and how powerful being in despair or being desperate can be to you. Desperate, being in despair, being desperate, it has its positive and negative sides, you know. When you're desperate, sometimes you end up doing things that if you were not desperate you wouldn't have done. And that is exactly the point, because if you're not desperate enough to push yourself to become the best version of yourself, or to push yourself to change your situation at the moment, then you'll always be a victim, and you'll always be a crybaby. You know. And those kinds of people, if you're these people who like playing victim and always saying like things are not working for themselves, those people, let me tell you, they have no place. Even in the Bible, they're dismissed in the Bible, because God hates a person who is just complaining and not doing anything. Because if you're not desperate, that means you're just a victim, you know. So let me just give you a clear vision of what I'm trying to say. So, at this particular time in my life, at this particular moment in my life that I am about to tell you, I was in desperate need of a job, because I was tired of living at home, and I really wanted to get a job that would really sustain me and give me some grounding, or just some level of grounding, you know, just some foundation to build my career, you know. So I am very good with writing. I usually tell you all the time, it's very good to write things, so that you can be able to track your growth. And also it's because it is easy to materialize when it is easy to manifest those things that you've already written down, because now you are more clearer on what you exactly want. Because when you don't write them down, you don't it is hard to manifest in reality, because now the God or the universe is not sure of what you want, because your head is always, you know, your subconscious mind is running 24 hours, and your conscious mind, is running better part of the day. So you have to, so it has so many, it's like a computer, you know. We hear our brains are like, we read our brains are like computers, you know. So there's so many information running in the system, so many information, because we have so many things that are going on in our lives. So for you to be able to, so nothing is for sure, nothing is clear. So for something to be clear, for it to manifest in reality, you have to write it down. It might not manifest immediately, it might manifest after some time, but it must. So listen to what I wrote. Excuse me. Hey girl, just be the best you can, girl. You are amazing, and you will make it. Just believe, and all that you've ever imagined will come to pass. Do it. So I had gone, so that is the first part. So this time I had gone gone for so many interviews, and I wasn't getting the job yet. But finally I went to this final in this company that now I got the job. And before I went to the interview, I was just trusting myself and telling myself, I was so desperate, you know. I was so desperate. I had told myself, if this is not going to work out, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it has to work out. Whether there's no, yani, it has to work out, you know. When you're desperate, you say certain things that you don't even know they are so powerful when you say them, you know. So I continued, and I wrote, after I had gone for the interviews before they gave me the job. So I was in probation, and we were 2 people in that position, so me and another lady. So I was competing. We were shortlisted, and me and her, we were the only people who were shortlisted. So during probation, this is what I was writing about it. Do it like you own it. Now, the job, it's your job and you have to love it. Treasure it and believe that you are better than most of them. I mean, you are the best and you'll definitely make it through thanks to believing in yourself. This was my journal back then. You can see how simple it was. It's just like a small notebook that I had bought for myself at that particular time because I just wanted to write. So at that time, like I was telling you, for you to see real growth, you have to be desperate. So, ladies, if you want to elevate yourself and to become the best version of yourself, you have to be desperate for what you want. Don't just say, I wish to be like so and so, and you don't know the traits that you want to be to attract that so and so has. So you have to be desperate about something for you to be able to attract it, and not in a desperate in a bad way, but desperate in a way that you will do anything, and and when I say anything, I mean you won't feel like you're getting tired or it's tiresome, like it's a duty. No, because eventually I got the job by the I got that job, and the other lady didn't get the job. But because it was, let me tell you why. It was because when I was doing that, I was really pushing myself. Nilikuwa najituma. I was giving it all. I was giving it my all. So you have to give it your all if you want to become better. Don't just wish, don't just think. And you have to empower yourself, because if you don't empower yourself, you're going to be hopeless. And if you become hopeless, then you have no life, honestly. If you lose hope, you're hopeless. So you have to empower yourself day in, day out. Tell yourself you can do it, until your mind starts registering that, okay? Learn to learn and practice to stay alone. You learn a lot about yourself. This one, I usually tell it to you guys all the time, about the power of being alone, and the power that because when you're alone, you protect your energy, you protect your mind, and you protect yourself from so much drama and so much negativity that comes with other people that you do not want to interact with your spirit at that particular time. When you're planning to elevate yourself, you can interact with people and learn a lot from other people as well, but that not you have to give yourself some grace period, some yourself period. That is something that I usually tell you guys all the time. I also want to tell you this: stop entertaining the worst case scenario. Stop entertaining the worst case scenario, because when you entertain the worst case scenario, what happens? The worst case scenarios usually manifest in reality. So for example, in my situation, like that situation that I was desperate for a job. Imagine after the interview, or after I was there in probation. Imagine if I would see the other lady as, or I would just be looking down on myself and saying, hey, what if this, because we are on probation, the two of us, what if I won't make it? What if I won't be taken? What if they won't pick me? Eventually I wouldn't have been picked, let me tell you, because I'm trying to tell my subconscious mind, something might go wrong, something might go wrong. When you tell your subconscious mind that something might go wrong, it is already preparing for something going wrong, let me tell you. So your subconscious mind doesn't know about wrong or right, it just knows about what you're going to feed it. So what are you feeding it? Why are you entertaining the worst case scenario? If you're planning to travel abroad, why are you imagining things that are terrible that happen there? You shouldn't imagine that, because that is what your mind is going to attract. If you want to get a job, if you want to something that us ladies, we have this tendency of entertaining the worst case scenario. Do not entertain anything negative, even by joke. Do not entertain. We hear people say this, but we think that it's not true. It is very true. I've given you an example of me desperate for a job. So I will tell you another why you shouldn't entertain your worst case scenario. For example, us ladies, we have this tendency of when you're in a romantic relationship, we always think this guy is going to cheat on us. This man is cheating on me. This guy is doing something bad to me. He's not thinking about me. Why are you thinking about entertaining the worst case scenario? Why can't you think, oh my God, this is the best relationship I've ever been in. This relationship is even going to last longer than I've ever thought. This man loves me more than any other man that has ever loved me. And if if he is really if he's really aligned to you, let me tell you, eventually he'll start being attracted to you, like in a way that you want, not in a way that he knows, in a way that you want, you know. So stop always thinking of the worst case scenario. You know, this is what I love. Let me tell you guys. Um, I know I don't know, but I've met so many people here in Nairobi, and I can tell you for sure, I feel like West Africans, they have this tendency of always thinking about the positive. You know, I feel like, you know, Nigerians, and they have this, we feel like they always attract, they have this positive vibe all the time. When they go to the club, you find that the people who are spending money all the time, not all the time, they're showering girls with money. I'm not, this is just but an example, by the way. Don't come at me. This is just but an example. So I feel like when they're, those West Africans, they're showering girls with the money, they're the first to pop champagne, they're the first to buy the latest Benz, they just like attracting themselves with good things. And when they do this, they also attract good things. You know, they like associating themselves, yeah, associating, they like associating with them, they like associating themselves with luxury and good things in life. And I feel like that is exactly what they attract most of the time. You know, we know that there are those that are have bad things, and bad things happen to everyone, not only they have bad energies and bad vibes. We know that there are those West Africans who have those, but there are also those who are good, and when they are good, they are good. Just for example, look at the Nigerian music industry. You know, those big people are big. They're so big. Look at their Nollywood industry. It's also so massive. It's because these people, they have that momentum. And I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything. I'm just trying to say they never entertain the worst case scenario. They never think, what if this movie it won't sell out? What if this music won't sell out? What if this, they never have that, they never entertain that thought. They whatever. And this West Africans, they are this kind of people of when you're with them, that they, even if it's a short period of time, you're telling them you're enjoying that short period of time. They're telling you this period of this time, for example, it's a day or two. They're telling you, just enjoy to the fullest this period of time, because don't even think about what is going to happen after this. And that is all that matters, if you ask me. This particular time, this particular moment is what that matters. Because tomorrow, God has already taken care of tomorrow. Yesterday, God has already taken care of yesterday. And in fact, yesterday is not coming back, you know. So stop entertaining the worst case scenarios and imagine everything going as perfectly as you have envisioned or you have planned in your mind. And asking God for his guidance, and asking him to let everything flow how you imagined, you know. Just little faith. That is what we call faith, by the way. Not entertaining the worst case scenario is what we call faith. Because faith is believing in something that you cannot see, but believing that it will happen. So if you can't believe, if you believe, so if you can't entertain worst case scenario if you have faith, you know. So faith, you see, you should not entertain the worst case scenario. And also, we should have our self-worth. You know, we should try to have our self-worth as little as it is, because that is what is going to push us and is going to motivate us to try and become better. You know, because when you have self-worth, you can say no to many things. When you have self-worth, you know where you can't go. When you have self-worth, you know what you cannot associate yourself with, you know. And this one, the self-worth, you have to first do some very much inner work and inner healing, so that you can be able to hold on to yourself, to your self-worth in a very strong way, without people bringing you down or people trying to demean you in some type of way, you know. Okay, another thing is you have to accept who you want to be. You know, accept that person and embody that person. And let me tell you, that person, you start accepting them by being grateful to the person that you are. You know, the person that you are is the person who has made you get to where you are today. Whether you went through so much troubles, or you went through much whatever. I'll give you another scenario about that particular period of time in my life. After I got the job, I was so happy about it, and I felt like God had really answered my prayers. I took my exact notebook, journal, I call it notebook, journal, whatever, where you write. I came here, I wrote this to my God. Oh, a million thank yous to you Almighty for this far. Because that time I was fresh from I had just come to Nairobi. So I was also trusting God to get me a house because I was living with other people. So I was trusting God to help me get a house. So I told him, right now I have my own house and I'm so happy and I'm so grateful. And I wrote, I now know that the mind has the power. Be careful what you feed your mind. Now that I am here, all I have to do is just take care of myself and not lose myself in the process. It's a amen. I finished with an amen because it was some sort of a prayer and some sort of gratitude to my God. So I wanted to tell you that time when I was writing this, I felt like I had achieved a lot in my life, and I felt like I had made this step to become who I wanted to be. With life, every stage you need to grow every stage, and every stage in life I feel like you need different things at different stages in life. So for me, that stage, I needed a house, and I trusted God for a house, and He got me a house. So if you're trusting God for change, and you're trusting God to becoming the best version of yourself, I want to add to tell you this. You start by thanking Him from wherever you are, because I told Him, yeah, thank you for bringing me from my comfort zone. My comfort zone was my home at that moment, and I really felt like I wanted to get out of my village and get out of my hometown, because I felt like I was not growing, or I wasn't becoming the person that I had thought I thought I wanted, or the person I envisioned myself to be. So I was telling him, thank you for removing me from my comfort zone, because for me, home was a comfort zone, because you have no responsibilities whatsoever. The only responsibility you have is doing the house just for your mom. And for me, I wanted to be more responsible to myself and for myself, and I wanted to see the world for myself, you see. So I trusted my God to take me from that place and to bring me to a city that I wanted to grow, and a city that was going to help me, and was going to help me elevate and become the best version of myself. So I accepted change. I accepted to get out of that and start from somewhere. And where I started from the lowest, by the way. It was a struggle. It wasn't so bad. It was at that particular time, I would say I was struggling, but now I'd say that it was just a phase to reveal to me who I really want to be in life, or to reveal to me my purpose in life, And after I accepted the change, that is when I trusted God now for a house. I trusted God now for a job, and I got all those things. I got a good corporate job, and I honestly, I enjoyed my journey through it all. So this is to say, accept change. This is to say, accept change. However uncomfortable it is, you have to accept it if you're willing, if you really want to. If you really want to grow, and if you really want to become the best version of yourself. And growth and change, and change doesn't have to be just shifting from your home, from your parents' crib to your own place, or things like this. Accepting change can be accepting to let go of that group of friends that you have, that are always making fun of you, or always talking negative about you, or you feel like they are always talking behind your back. That is accepting change, and that is surrender to me. Okay, another thing that is change, accepting that relationship is not working for you. That is change. Accepting that if I continue staying here, I'm going to either lose my mind. I'm just going not I'm just not going to grow in any way. Whether, sometimes you want to grow financially, maybe you want to sometimes it's not only that the person was bad for you, it's sometimes it's the person didn't want to grow. The person was comfortable where they were. And you can't be comfortable because other people are comfortable, and it might not only be your spouse, it might be even your friends, and you want to grow. You yourself, you feel like you want to elevate yourself, and you feel like those people are not doing the same. So you have to accept the change and isolate yourself, you know, and accept it, because I know being alone sometimes it's difficult, but you have to accept it, so that when you accept, that is the first place, so that when you accept it, you can be able to transition to the person that you're supposed to be. So if it is that it is that city or that village you want to change, accept that this thing is not working for me, and you have to change it. You have to uproot it. Accept that that hairstyle is not working for you. Accept that this dressing code is not acceptable anymore. Accept that it's not acceptable to you anymore. Accept that this is not how you want to be addressed anymore, and show people how you want to be addressed. And how do you show people how you want to be addressed? By being that person, by embodying that person. So by how do you embody that person? By accepting change. You see, by accepting change. And by accepting change, you have to be very ruthless with this, because so many people who knew the old you will start pulling you behind, because they'll start telling you, oh, you're not that person anymore. And don't accept to be pulled behind, because if you're pulled behind, that means again you're not moving, you're stagnating again, you're going back to where you started at. And just make peace with yourself, and tell yourself, I know it's not that easy, but I have to push myself. I have to push myself so hard to accept change. And many people don't accept change. And that is where we fail, and that is where you just perish, honestly. Even Americ says it all the time on his wall. He usually tells you, it's either you accept having he's mostly talking about healthy diet and masculinity, but he's always writing, accept change or perish. And I like this phrase, because it's the truth, honestly. It's either you accept it or you perish. And perishing doesn't mean that you're going to die tomorrow. No. Perishing means that you're going to lose yourself bit by bit. And you have to be you have to choose yourself. I usually say this on my podcast all the time. You have to be constantly choosing yourself constantly. So don't accept to perish, because when you perish, that means you accept to be mediocre. And we don't want to be mediocre, because if you become mediocre, that means you accept to be moved with the masses, and you accept to be like everybody else. And that means you're seeing yourself in other people's lenses. You're not seeing yourself authentically, and you're not seeing yourself as the person that you really are. So don't accept to view yourself in other people's lenses. See yourself with your own lenses. If you see yourself as the president, continue doing that until you become the president of whatever it is that you imagine yourself to be president of. If you see your podcast going global, continue imagining your podcast will go global, because self-awareness is something, for me, for example, let me use my example. I'm imagining my podcast will one day go global, because self-awareness is something that everybody is working on. It's not like it's a shallow topic. It's a very huge topic that it's a topic that affects each and every individual on earth, because everybody is on their own journey. So it's not like so I feel like, so if you want to believe that for yourself, believe that for yourself. If you want to believe that you're the best in whatever that you're doing, the best painter, the best artist, the best musician, you have to believe in yourself, because until then, nobody's going to believe in your vision, let me tell you. And this one, I'm telling myself, even I'm also telling myself, I'm not only telling you, but for me, I feel like I'm already believing in myself, because I've already accepted change, and I'm on the journey of self-awareness. So this is for people who are not yet in the journey but want to begin the journey. And also, if you're in the journey, you have to know that if you accept these things, some things that are going to sabotage you, they are going to bring you down, and you won't live, or your manifestations would come to your desires would come into manifestations, and that is what we are all trying to avoid, or to not encounter, right? So you have to free yourself from, and also you guys, you have to free from yourself from the society's advice. Most of them have no idea what they are doing. Like I said, everybody is on their own journey. We will end up in different paths, all of us, you know. So pick, I told you before, pick what is beneficial to you and let go of what is not beneficial to you. So view yourself as the grandest, most amazing person on the world, and that is exactly what you're going to be if you do not entertain the worst case scenarios in your mind, because the mind is very powerful, and if you accept these things, that is exactly what is going to manifest. So I have told you the power of journaling. To this episode tonight, I've given you some insights on the power of journaling and the power of viewing yourself in a grand way, in a best way, because like I told you, I viewed myself as like the person I've gotten this job, and I knew that job, and I knew I was the best candidate for the job, and eventually I got the job. You see, and this was my journal. Let me tell you, this was back in 2018. You can imagine, because I remember, you see, the first day I of this journal was in 2018. The first time I bought it around 20 towards the end of 2018, and the job by the end of 2018 I was already by December 2018 I was in that job. So you can imagine the power of the mind. That is my real life situation that happened to me. So you guys, you should really check on what you're feeding your mind, and what you're journaling, and what you're manifesting, and what you really want to become, to manifest in your real life. And you should be very careful with your wordings. I've told you before, affirm. And the mind, I'm reading a book called This Is How You Heal, and the book says the mind is very powerful. The mind is very powerful. Whatever you feed your mind, that is whatever it accepts. And your conscious mind, the mind that tells us right from wrong, that is our conscious mind, the mind that we operate on this realm on with. The conscious mind, you guys, you should know the conscious mind needs to be, she tells us, the conscious minds need to be affirmed all the time. And like I told you, affirmations are very, very powerful tool for the mind, because affirmations are the things that make you become self-esteem and motivated, and they're the things that empower you. You see, so you have to affirm your mind each and every time. I am brave, I am kind, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am smart, you know, I am wise, I am knowledgeable. You have to affirm yourself. You have to affirm your brain each and every time, so that these things can stick in your subconscious mind. I am wealthy, I am healthy, I attract abundance, you know, I attract wealth, I attract, you know, these kind of things. You have to affirm yourself so that the mind can know that these things are easy and are accessible to you as well, you know, so that you don't become, you don't have time, or you don't have space to entertain the worst case scenarios, you know. And that is what, and that the worst case scenarios are the negative energy, are the negative vibes, are the complaining vibes, are anything that is thinking of something might not happen, or something is not available, or just the lack mentality. Those are the worst case scenarios that we usually entertain in our heads. Okay, don't entertain those worst case scenarios. Don't think that, oh, this will not happen, oh, my child this and this, oh, my husband this and this, oh, my boyfriend this and this. No, don't do that, because you say you leave things to chance. You don't even know what you want anyway. Okay, so this episode, I want to I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this episode, because I have just remembered, or I just, it has just made me reflect on that time, and it has also made me it has opened my eyes to how powerful journaling is, because I had already forgotten how powerful it is. And it is a real life situation that happened to me. So this episode has been amazing, and I'm going to urge you, please, ladies, don't entertain the worst case scenarios in our mind, and don't give room for that. Okay, so like I always tell you, if you're willing, if your wish is to become the best version of yourself, if your wish is to elevate and become the grandest version of yourself, this is the podcast for you. And just comment to on the comment section how you've elevated yourself this past month, or how you're planning to do it this year, or how you are trying to envision yourself to be. Okay, yeah, so just comment and just like, share, and subscribe, and let us elevate and become the best version of ourselves with as many ladies as we can, because we want this self-awareness and the self-discovery journey to be taken by everybody, so that we can be able to um to live in fulfillment and to live more purposefully. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. I love you guys. See you next week, and I hope this week you do not entertain. I hope this coming weekend and this coming week you do not entertain any thought that does not resonate with the person that you want to become. Any thought that does not resonate with that person that you want to become, do not entertain that thought, because you don't want these thoughts to manifest. So thank you so much, guys. I love you. Take care of yourself.